Games becoming $80 is a good thing for casual gamers. Before you hit that dislike button, let me explain myself. More and more studios are looking at releasing base games for $80. Not special editions, not bundles, just the standard version of a game for nearly $100. As a casual gamer, at first, this was quite frustrating, but now, weirdly, I think it might actually be a good thing for us, because it's exposing how badly the AAA space has lost touch with its audience, and it's forcing more and more of us to look elsewhere, towards better value, better experiences, and yes, towards the massive backlog most of us have waiting for us. $80 isn't just a number, it changes how people buy games. At that price, you're not making a casual purchase anymore. You're making a judgment call. You're asking, is this purchase worth it? And more often than not, the answer is no. And it's not just about whether the game is fun, it's whether it respects your time, whether it works at launch, or whether it gives you a complete experience. But increasingly, AAA titles are launching with major bugs, incomplete systems, or a clear roadmap that tells you this game will eventually be good, just not today. And even when the game is good, it often takes far too much of our limited free time just to get to the part where it actually becomes enjoyable. So when the price tag jumps to $80, people start asking, why would I pay more for less confidence in what I am buying? Now let's not pretend that this is coming out of nowhere. This price hike isn't being introduced in a golden age of AAA quality. It's happening at a time when the big studios have burnt an enormous amount of trust. Games like Halo Infinite, Battlefield 2042, Redfall, Avowed, Dragon Age the Veilguard, and any of the latest Call of Duty titles have completely misjudged what players actually want. You can only disappoint players so many times before they stop trusting you. And asking for $80 while that trust is broken, that's not just tone deaf, you're burning the last bridge you have with your audience. Now let's not forget the bigger context. Life in general is more expensive than it has ever been. Inflation, rent, fuel, food, utilities, everything has gone up. So naturally, we, your casuals, are tightening our budgets. And luxuries like video games are even less of a priority now. We're being more careful and more selective with our purchases. And that's where this whole $80 shift becomes a breaking point. Because if a game's not guaranteed to deliver, we're just not going to take the risk. Not when there are dozens of other options out there for half the price or less. Here's something that's often overlooked. Casual gamers aren't just worried about money, we're worried about time. If I only have 2 hours to play on a Saturday evening, I want to spend that time actually playing and having fun. Not getting frustrated over bugs or sitting through a 2-hour grind just to try and see if I can get to the fun part, which might not even show up. We want focused, intentional design and fun. We want games that respect us as players. That used to be what AAA studios excelled at, but now there's no passion or innovation anymore. A lot of these games feel half-baked, and it makes spending $80 feel irresponsible and stupid. When thinking about this $80 price tag on games, I actually get quite excited by it now, because for me, this is finally the death of FOMO. Now, one of the biggest time wasters I've ever had in my life was playing Starfield. I spent over 90 hours playing that game, waiting for a fun that never showed up. I felt scammed out of my time and money after playing that game. I could have played so many more incredible games instead. And now looking back, I think the only reason why I pushed through playing Starfield was because of FOMO. I was scared I would miss out on fun that never actually showed up. A lot of these AAA companies have already ruined their reputations, but sticking $80 on these games has finally killed any remnants of FOMO for me. So I'm so excited to finally get through my backlog now. All this negativity aside, there really has never been a better time to be a gamer. Modern indie games and smaller titles have honestly given me some of the most fun I've ever had in gaming. A lot of these games are made by devs who actually know and understand what players really want. And they're bringing originality and innovation to the table. They're also the only reason features like couch co-op are still alive. These games are cheaper, they're creative, and they're often better designed than their bloated AAA counterparts. And the result? Most of us have backlogs with tons of brilliant, untouched experiences just waiting for the right moment. So now when an $80 game drops, I'm not going to be tempted. I'll be relieved. Now, I think one message a lot of AAA studios like Ubisoft or EA Games needs to hear is that they've lost their throne. They simply aren't it anymore. It almost feels like they're living in some weird delusion. Just because some incredible developers like From Software or Larian Studios are praised, doesn't mean that they are on the same level simply because they also make big games. They aren't the same anymore, no matter how much they try to convince us. Now, I'm gonna say something a little bit controversial. Grand Theft Auto 6, if it lives up to its hype, could easily sell at $100, maybe even $120 and still break records, because it is Grand Theft Auto and because it is Rockstar Games. This is a one-of-a-kind exception though, but I wouldn't be surprised if other AAA publishers would try to push for the same pricing if Grand Theft Auto 6 is that expensive. In reality, I can't even think of any other company that is good enough to increase their price to that amount and still be able to sell games. I can only think of this working for Grand Theft Auto 6. Even now with the Elder Scrolls 6, I think a lot of fans are genuinely concerned after Starfield. Maybe they would be able to sell well for $80, even The Witcher 4 for instance, but these are definitely exceptions, and I don't see it working outside of sequels to beloved record-breaking titles. What we're seeing instead is mid-tier studios pretending they belong in that category, like Borderlands 4 for example, launching at $80 when the franchise hasn't evolved in over a decade. They're fun games, sure, but they're not masterpieces, and treating them like premium luxury products doesn't build confidence, it signals greed. And here's the danger. AAA studios are slowly pushing away the audience they rely on most. Not the YouTubers or streamers, not the hardcore grinders, but the everyday players. The ones who buy a few games a year, the ones who gift games during holidays, and the ones who show up because gaming is fun, not a second job. If you alienate those players, you're not just shrinking your profits, you're shrinking your future. And that's exactly what's happening. People are shifting to indie titles and to older games because there, at least, you feel like you're getting something for your money. In a strange way, this whole $80 pricing trend might be doing us a favor. It's forcing players to be more thoughtful with their time and money. It's reminding us that there's a whole world of games beyond what is being heavily marketed to us. And it's putting pressure on AAA studios to actually earn the price they're asking for. So yeah, it's frustrating, but it's also a correction, a wake-up call. And maybe, just maybe, it's going to push gaming into a healthier, more balanced future. Or maybe this will be the straw that finally breaks the camel's back. As always, thank you everyone for watching, and thank you so much to my Patreons as well. If you're interested in my Patreon to support this channel, please do check it in the link below in the description. And again, thank you so much to Asmongold and every one of Asmongold's fans for making this channel a reality. And I hope you all have a wonderful day.